What is up, guys, gals, non-binary pals? Stray Fox here. How are we doing, YouTube? Hope we're doing well. It is the new year. It is 2024. 2024. And we're still going over this idiot. Now, this is a little late. As always, I'm running behind on a lot of stuff. So I apologize for that. Hopefully, this is not too long. That's like, I'm always jinxing myself when I usually say that, but I'm hoping it's not too long today. But yeah, we are here to talk about depression, guys. Because Dr. Phil here has a holiday message for ya, even though it's too fucking late because it's already over. The holiday's over with. So once the holiday's over with, he doesn't give two shits about ya. But we'll just ignore that for now and pretend that I'm reviewing this or critiquing it, whatever the hell you want to call it, when it came out, as opposed to it being January 6th, basically. So let's get right into it.
The hate army troll.
Hopefully ain't too bad.
The hate
we'll
army.
see.
Shout out to hate.
Good vibes.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for hate.
Bah.
Before
Fucking goat laugh.
we get to all of that, I have something that I would like to
Got
say.
the double vision
that I
going
feel
on, but it's
kind of
quintuple.
pertinent and important, especially this time of year. You know, we're in the midst of the holiday season.
Oh,
right
tell
now,
us, Papa
right?
Phil, what
the
it
snow
is.
Falling. The Christmas
Give us
trees
some
have
of
been
that
decorated.
sage advice
The
that you've
food's in the
learned in the
oven.
40
Family and friends
years
are on the way.
on this
And
earth.
A lot of the time, we could get so caught up in our own hustle and bustle that we don't really start to look around us.
Let me turn
at
this
things
down a
that
little bit.
are going down.
I'm not sure if
And
if he's too loud or
What I would like to
I'm
address
too loud.
is that
We'll see.
not everyone has a great time
I have
of
to
year
adjust it.
this time of year. For
No
some,
shit.
the holiday season is sad. They're
No
alone.
shit.
They don't have anyone. Or maybe they lost a
Again, I just want you to think of the bizarre context that we're hearing this in. Okay? Because, like, even this coming from like a competent streamer would be a little bizarre. But this is coming from fucking Phil, of all people, right? And then on top of that, he's acting like, oh, like he's acting like his dents are like literally retarded. And they might just be, you know? I mean, like, I'm sorry if you're a Phil Dent, but like he's treating you guys like you never thought of this before, and it's like the first time anyone's ever told you this. I'm like, this is common knowledge to most people, Phil.
family member or a friend or a loved one around this time of year, and it just serves as like a stark reminder of that loss. And a lot of us don't get that, I feel. You know, you don't understand that because your whole life you kind of associate the holiday season with positivity and fun and friends and giving. It's a positive season, but not for everyone.
Yeah, some people have to work retail.
And as I've gotten older, I've learned to walk in other people's shoes and start
No, you haven't.
to see from their perspective. And basically what I want to emphasize this morning is that this time of year, as much as it is a time for us to be happy and healthy and be nice to everyone around us, it's also a time to be
Wait, you aren't nice to everyone around you. You're a total asshole to people.
understanding and observant for those who aren't, and maybe understand that maybe their life isn't the same as yours, and you should.
Phil, you don't know the first fucking thing about empathy, okay? I'm sorry, but you're like the least empathetic fucking person there is in this whole planet. So I don't want to hear this shit coming from you, okay?
Perhaps try to walk in someone else's shoes and understand why they feel the way that they do before you cast harsh judgments against them. It's easy to just dismiss someone as a Grinch or a humbug instead of actually realizing that maybe something is going on in that person's life, and that's why they're not actually having a good time during this holiday season.
No, they just
when the
don't like
rest of
you.
us are. If you're someone who's in that position, I do have a message for you. Hey, stupid, I have depression, you dumb fuck. I actually have it. I know what it feels like, all right? Okay? this morning I was getting ready. I was putting on my pullover here. I'm brushing my hair. I'm getting ready for the stream, right? And I'm having a good morning. Like, I'm having fun with my wife, and I'm having fun with Jasper. We've got all these creatures
Not
out in the
that kind of
backyard.
fun, though.
To let you know what happened, because it was kind of funny. We have this new thing we've been doing. It's called suet. And what it is, it's a block of, like, coagulated...
Oh, yes, I almost forgot about this part. This is where Phil is trying to be fucking Snow White, apparently, and have, like, all the woodland creatures gather around his backyard for some fucking reason.
Fat and nuts and fruit and stuff, and you put it in this little cage and you hang it outside on your fence, and all these creatures will come by to eat it over the course of the day. Okay, so we're putting out a new one.
Sweet.
And my wife goes...
Ain't that also kind of like what you say to pigs, too? I mean, like Phil, that would work for Phil and Kat, really, because they're both, like, he's a pig roach, and she's just a pig, so it's like, sweet! Want you to squeal like a pig!
To do it, she goes to pop it out, and the whole thing just goes, explodes. So there is suet chunks.
Man, he makes her seem like the most incompetent human being on this planet. He really does not talk about her in a positive light at all.
All over the backyard. And so she comes inside to wash her hands because the thing is so messy. And all these creatures just converge on the backyard. We've got squirrels, we've got birds of like 5 different kinds. And it's just... it's beautiful. It's like, you're a fucking idiot. Get fucked, you stupid loser who thinks you know anything about anything in real fucking life. You know nothing. You're the epitome
You
of
know nothing. You're an idiot. Good day, sir. Get fucked.
waste of life. Wow, how awesome, how positive. And we're smiling.
Wow, wow, hon. This is super positive, y'all. Like, why is he talking like Tommy Wiseau all of a sudden? No, he has like very positive vibes.
We're eating our breakfast. I'm having my coffee. We're having a really great morning. Okay, I come upstairs, I brush my hair to get ready for the stream, and I realize how lucky I am to have the life that I have, that we live.
Brush my hair in the morning because Lord knows I actually wash my hair or anything like that. So it's just...
it's such a beautiful life that's fun and positive, and we're really, really enjoying this holiday season. And then I thought back to about 8 years ago, 7 years ago, and I'm remembering how things were at a time in my life when things were not good. You know, back then I didn't even have a podcast.
Keep this in the back of you guys' head when you're listening to this. This whole spiel, he's talking about himself. Like, I mean, that's not outside the normal. He always talks about himself. But keep that in the back of your head. This is all about him. He's started this off saying, like, put yourself in other people's shoes, blah, blah, blah. And then he relates it to a story about him and how he was feeling sad and depressed 7 or 8 years ago, right? And it's always the example he picks for... the example that he picked for feeling bad about himself is, again... a story from his past. So even the example that he gives is about him, because it can't not be about him. Everything has to be about him 24 hours, 24/7, because that's what narcissists do.
All right, I didn't even turn on my camera unless it was like a special event. Back then, I didn't care about how I looked.
And you should have kept your camera off. I'm sorry, not sorry, but like, maybe you should have just fucking had your camera off all the time, because we do not want to see your face. This is disgusting, Phil.
How I dressed, how I behaved.
You still don't.
I was literally, at that point in my life, a heavy, heavy alcoholic drinker.
Oh my God. You still are, clearly.
My personal life was a shambles. In the morning, did I ever brush my hair or get nice and get ready to go on stream? No, I didn't even care.
All right, so... The things to look out for if you're feeling bad about yourself, even though I think you would know that you're feeling bad about yourself, is not brushing your hair. Because apparently if you don't brush your hair, you're fucked. You're super depressed. You're horrible. You hate yourself. you want to commit Minecraft, all the stuff if you don't brush your hair. Because apparently that's the big thing you should take away from this is I wasn't brushing my hair. My life was in shambles, guys, because I didn't brush my hair. What little hair he has left, mind you. But
it was just like, well, just another day. Just going to throw myself out on stream and hopefully make some money today. That's really what was
how you do it every day. How is that any different from how you do things now, Phil? Nice fucking pause, by the way. But how is that any different?
Mine back then. I was in a low point of my life, you know, and just going through the motions just to get stuff to happen. And I particularly remember, you know, that time of that. I can't remember exactly the year, but I just remember this one year. It was the holiday season.
It's the holiday season. Holiday season.
And even though on stream I was putting out a show,
put on a happy face. Gray skies are gonna clear up.
I was feeling
I'll
awful.
Stop singing that.
You know, my life sucked. I didn't like anything that was going on in my life. I hated what I was.
This is probably what he's feeling right now, currently. Also, I wouldn't be surprised
for my job.
Because, like, I'm not wishing that on him. But if any of us was in the position that he's currently in right now, we would feel that way. So I'm judging the position that he's in. Now, I hope. Do I hope? I hope for his sake he's telling the truth, that he's actually in a good spot and that he's actually feeling good about himself and happy, and he's not actually. Because if it was any normal person in the position that he's in, we would not be having a good fucking time. But do I wish ill will and hope that he's having a bad time? Not really. I mean, I don't want him to have a great time either. I don't really care. He put himself in this position. If he's not happy where he currently is, he needs to change something to get himself out of the position if he's not having a good time. But he won't tell us he's not having a good time. Like he said before, he was lying about it. So if you're lying about putting on a happy face and everything back then, what's to say that you're not doing that now, though?
Get fucked, really. No, really. Go fuck yourself. You're a loser. It had gotten stale.
And he obviously gets off on having authority on his chat over these deadheads, because that's the only authority he has in his whole life, is being able to ban someone on chat or telling one of his fans off. And then he cries and complains that no one's talking in his chat because he banned everyone for small little occurrences that weren't that big a deal in the first place.
I hated my personal life. It was falling apart. I was, drinking constantly. So basically all this bad...
We've seen no evidence that you've stopped drinking, by the way.
Bad stuff going on. And now here I am this morning, and I'm having like the best, morning with my family, enjoying the holiday season. I'm excited to come.
By the way, this is not really saying much, because even if I have actual clinical depression, right? And I'm sure a lot of people watching this might have it too, because it's a common thing. Having actual diagnosed clinical depression is a common thing. It's not that rare. If you have depression, you can still have good days. You know what I mean? It's not like if you have depression 100% of the time, you're depressed and feeling down all the time. No. You could still have depression and have a great day. You could have people call get a friendly conversation. Your mom calls and you have a great conversation. She cheers you up. You go to work and it's a pretty good day at work. You come home, you eat, you talk with your significant other. It's a great day. And still in the back of your head, there's still this wiggling, niggling, gnawing at you feeling what's yeah, maybe it'd be better if I just wasn't existing at all, though. You know what I mean? It's it happens. If you actually have depression, which he doesn't, by the way. He clearly doesn't. Narcissists don't feel depression that way. or if they do feel depression, it's, well, comes out in delusions where it's like, I'm only depressed because everyone else is out to get me. It's everyone else's fault and all this other shit. They never actually, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you can still have a good day and be depressed. So that doesn't really, it's like, oh, if you're depressed, you never have a good day. That's not true.
Come on stream with all of you this morning and have a great day. And
just want to have a great day, have a good stream.
And how easy it is for those of us who just don't understand others and their perspectives and what they could be going through to again,
this is the pot calling the kettle black, because this man has never once put himself in someone else's shoe. Who was it? DJ Runo, when he was talking to Phil and he mentioned something about his brother dying. He's like, it's okay if you chill up. You can still cook and eat. I cooked and made stuff to eat when my brother died. And Phil shit all over him and banned him. It's like, oh, it should be all about you. Because he lacks the ability of putting himself in someone else's shoes. That's why.
To be harsh and judgmental.
He doesn't have that ability.
I just wanted
He's
to
not
bring
an
some
empath.
awareness to this to you all this morning.
And it's like, you don't even have to be an empath in order to do that. It's just basic human decency and like just smallest amount of empathy that every human is capable of is all you really need to understand where someone else is coming from. And he doesn't have that either.
And for those of you who maybe are at your low right now, because I'm assured that a few people who are watching this podcast right now, live or on demand, may be feeling low and being down, and there's bad stuff going on in your life right now. First of all,
I mean, I would be feeling low if I was a DSP fan, but
I want you to let you know I get it, because I've been there.
I get it, guys.
And the only thing that I can say, because I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a psychiatrist,
no shit.
I'm not a counselor, I'm not some psychic who can tell the future. But what I can tell you,
is gray skies are gonna cheer up, put on it. That's basically what he's trying to say here. He's just saying like, hey, I know you have depression, and I know it's a mental illness, like a chemical imbalance in the fucking brain and everything, but suck it up and things are gonna get better, so just fucking suck it up, dude. That's not how depression works, Phil. It's not. You could have like everything in the world going for you, and in your brain, it's like the chemical imbalance. Like you cannot overcome depression by mind over matter type thinking like this. You do understand that, right? Like medicine helps. Medication for mental illness helps a ton. It really does. Trust me. If you are dealing with depression, I highly do recommend that you try to get on some sort of medication. Talk with your therapist, talk with a doctor, and get on some sort of medication for it, because it does help a ton. Okay. But like, it's not a mind over matter thing. Oh, well, have you ever thought of have you ever tried stop being depressed? Gee, I never thought of that. Here, let me try that. No shit. Obviously, we've tried not being depressed. It doesn't really work because it's a chemical imbalance, Phil. Oh, I've heard it all, too. I've heard all this shit from other people, too. It's not just Phil. A lot of people who don't have depression don't understand what it's like. And that's not an excuse. I'm not making excuses or anything. That's just how it is, right? So it's like, oh, have you tried not being depressed? I'm like, yeah, I've tried that. I'm like, well, you should go outside more. Go and take a walk more and keep your curtains open so the sun comes in and you'll feel better. And half of the stuff my mom told me. And I'm like, yeah, I've done all that. That's not helping because it's the chemical imbalance. It's literally a mental illness. The thing that because that's going to come up too. And don't forget that he's over here trying to like pander for sympathy and all this other shit. But he'll be so quick to turn on anyone that he deems as a negative person or as a detractor and call them mentally ill people, and the white coats are coming to take you away, you mentally ill, there's something wrong with your brain, and all this other bullshit. All the time. I might insert a clip here, I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. You've all heard this a million times. oh, you're mentally ill, blah, blah, blah. But then he'll cut and like try to, I don't know what the right fucking word is. And then he'll turn around and try to be like, well, some people are not feeling super great now. And remember that some people have depression and it's okay. And you should just put yourself in other people's shoes, even though I never do myself. And all this bullshit. Like, to try to make himself out to be like he's some kind of caring individual when he's clearly not. And he's like basically told what was it? Like, he told someone that it's like, oh, I wish your child was mentally retarded, basically, is what he said. In a like I'm paraphrasing, but that was a roundabout way. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Phil.
Is that from my personal experience, all right? These low times in your life don't last. They will definitely come up. There's going to be times in your life that you just can't avoid stuff happening, all right? My life has been like this, all right? A series of high highs immediately followed by a crashing bunch of low lows, and then a high high, and then a low low again, and it just constantly going like this. And you can't really avoid that.
All right, so one more thing. I'm sorry. I'm pausing a lot. I hope this doesn't take too long. He is not talking about depression here. I want you to keep that in the back of your mind too. He is not talking about depression here. He is talking about feeling down or feeling bad based on outside circumstances that happen that cause a negative reaction in your mind. Does that make sense? Because if something in your life is going wrong, then yes, it is natural to feel bad, to feel down. That's a normal reaction to an outside occurrence happening. If someone trolls DSP will then feel bad about it, arguably. That is just a normal reaction, but that is not what depression is. So, to people who don't have depression, I want to reiterate that depression is a chemical imbalance in the brain. It is not affected by outside circumstances and outside actions. Like I said before, you could be having the best day of your life and not even day. You could be having your best life. You could be a multi-billionaire. Like, let's say you're as rich as Elon Musk. You don't have to work. You have a bunch. Well, I'm not saying this is Elon Musk. I'm saying you're as rich as Elon Musk. Because Elon Musk doesn't have all these things. Well, let's say you're as rich as Elon Musk, so you don't have to work. You have a big, loving family who all loves you. You could have a terrific spouse, partner, whatever your preferences, that loves and cares and adores you. You could have a bunch of children that all looked up to you and trust you. You could donate hundreds of millions of dollars to charity and everyone thinks you're the best person ever. And yet, with nothing bad going on in your entire life, having this ideal life that anyone would kill for, right? And yet, in the back of your head, you still don't want to exist anymore. Because that is what mental illness is. It is your depression, actual depression, is unaffected by outside interference. It does not matter if you're having a good day. It does not matter if you're having a bad day. Sure, the bad days can make the depression worse, but it is not the direct cause of the depression. Just because you have bad luck or having like a really bad low period in your time, that is not depression. You don't really get to go around saying I have depression just because of outside interference, outside actions that are causing you to feel down. That is not what actual depression is. And Phil confuses the two a lot. So to Phil, because that's why Phil has never actually had depression, because he's too narcissistic to actually have depression. he felt bad, and he said it right here. He felt bad because he had a lot of low lows and then a lot of high highs. So it's like the lows in his life were making him feel bad, but that is not actual depression, okay? That is just feeling bad, and it's a normal reaction to having a bad spot in your life. That's a normal reaction the human brain does. It's not a mental illness. Now, sorry, I had to burp. Now, you can say, I'm feeling depressed when you're feeling down. That's different from depression, okay? You can say, I'm feeling depressed currently, right? Like, oh man, I like fucking spent all my money on WWE champions. The tax IRS took my house away. I have to move back in with my parents in Connecticut who don't even love me. My wife left me. I'm feeling depressed. That's fine. That's a normal reaction to outside interference. A normal reaction to outside actions. That is still not depression, though. That's not clinical depression. Clinical depression is not related to outside actions. I don't think I'm using the right words as actions. Maybe reactions. Like, I don't know. It's like, but I hope that comes across as clear for y'all. Like, I hope I'm coming across clear about that. But let's continue. I just wanted to reiterate that. So you can say you're depressed without actually having depression. And that's what he's saying. Because he never actually had actual depression. Because guess what, Phil? Normal depression never, ever goes away. There is no actual cure for actual depression. Unfortunately. Not yet there isn't. There's medication to help mitigate the effects of depression, but there's no actual cure for it. It never fully goes away. And it doesn't matter the events taking place around your life. It doesn't matter if you're having, if the events are positive, negative, it does not affect you. It doesn't matter. You'll still have depression. So I obviously don't think he ever had depression.
Some people are
and it's
lucky,
pretty clear.
And they're rich and they don't have to worry about stuff, and their life is just a high all the time, right? But not many of us get to.
And even see, hold on, let me bring that back. Hold on.
And you can't really avoid that. Some people are lucky and they're rich and they don't have to worry about stuff, and their life is just a high all the time.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I just made that example earlier. So yes, even if someone is super lucky and their life is a high all the time, they can still have clinical depression though, Phil. Because that's different from having lows and highs. Like, I mean, everyone has lows and highs. Even people with depression has lows and highs. You know what I'm saying? But even someone who's on highs or not on highs, but have highs all the time, if we're using his language, could still be depressed, could still have actual depression. Even with everything in their life going right for them, can still have actual clinical depression because it is a brain imbalance, chemical imbalance in the brain. Okay, Phil? That's not what depression actually is. Well, I mean, what he's saying is not what depression actually is.
Right? But not many of us get to experience that. A lot of us, we have
doesn't matter, you can still be depressed.
Of this varying up and down cycle, correct?
The up and down cycle has no bearing on actually having depression,
understand that right now, if you're at a low during this holiday season, and everyone around you just might not get it, might not understand.
He really shouldn't be talking about shit that he has no idea what the hell he's talking about. Like,
and very humbug, I guess, would be the best way to describe it.
What are you, a child? Who calls someone a humbug in modern era?
Things will get better. They don't last. You know, they just don't. Things always
Whoa,
change.
gee, Phil.
It just takes some time.
Tell that to someone who's standing on a bridge contemplating jumping. Tell someone that. Oh, it's okay. It's gonna get better. They'll probably fucking jump because like they don't want to deal with that shit anymore. Phil, you don't know what people are dealing with. Just saying, oh, it's okay. Things are gonna get better. Gee, well, why didn't I think about that? I guess I'm cured of my depression. I can stop taking all this medication now, huh?
I'm impatient, and when you're at your lowest, you don't want to hear that. You want to hear that it's either going to immediately change right now, or else you're so stuck in the dumps that you can't think of anything else but being stuck in the dumps.
Oh my God, he just does not understand.
I've been there. But I want to let
No,
you know,
you
at least
haven't.
from my perspective and my experiences in my life, things get better. They do. So, at a time when a lot of people may be struggling, I want you to know I got your back. I know what you're going through. And
oh, I can rest easy, guys. Phil has my
don't
back.
give up, because life is not worth giving up on. There's a lot of good things going on.
Oh, gee, I'm so glad I'm having this pep talk. Oh, I guess I won't overdose on drugs today. I'll have to wait for tomorrow to take all those sleeping medications, right?
And as you can get past the low parts, right, there's nowhere to go but up. You know, I've been at a point where I hated my life. I hated who I was. I didn't think anyone cared about me. I didn't think...
Again, this seems more like a response to being in a negative position in life, probably from the trolls and everything. This is not incurred or induced from within his mind. This is due to outside circumstances and outside forces, not internal ones.
Anyone loved me. I didn't think that anything that I did on this planet mattered. I thought...
I mean, it really doesn't, but that doesn't matter, though. Because, like, I hate to tell you, Phil, I hate to tell you people who are watching, but honestly, nothing we do actually really matters all that much. It really doesn't. But you shouldn't be living your life based on that alone anyway. Like, I'm sorry, like, I shouldn't be so careless about joking about Minecraft stuff, so I do apologize for that. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, what's I'm trying to think of a way to word it, but it's like the meaning of life is not leaving some big impact or making a huge impact, huge difference on the world or anything like that. That's not what we're here for. I'll talk more about it at the end of the video.
I thought I was an insignificant speck that was nothing but a waste of air.
But Phil is an infinite speck.
Anyone on this planet.
Does not mean
if you
anything.
disappeared today, no one would care. That's the truth of the matter. That's how I felt.
And I love that, like, the back and forth. Hate Army did a great job with these edits.
And now look at me. You know?
Now look at you, what? You have not changed. Your position is arguably worse than what it was before, Phil.
I'm happily married with a great family life.
Are you happily married? This seems like a lot of cope coming from him. He's like, no. My life is actually really good, and I have a great relationship. I have a great... Right, honey? She's playing a game, and the other woman with her headphones on doesn't even hear. He's like, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah. She says yes. Like, this is such cope.
With a great show that I put out every day that people care about.
No,
awesome
your show sucks.
A job that I love, a family that I can't wait to spend time with over these holidays. This is it.
You living with your partner and a cat is not a family.
This is life. This is great. And it took a long time to...
This is kind of sad, honestly. I mean, like... Sorry. I need to calm down. My throat's acting up a little bit. But, like, for the holidays, like, nothing... How do I say this? I apologize in advance if you don't have any loved ones to go home to during the holiday season. I really do feel bad if that's the case. But just know, like, I mean, I'll have an ending thing for that, but like, it must be awful, and I do apologize if that's the case. But like, nothing is quite like the holidays, like going home to your family, wherever they might be, like people you haven't seen in a while, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, like, and just like helping them get the food ready, smell the food on the table, you sit down, everyone's talking, everyone's catching up because no one's seen each other for a while. Like, that's the true essence of the holidays, Phil. Not just Christmas, but like all the major holidays. And this loser. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to laugh too much. But this loser is over here who's gonna be just sitting there with Kat, and these are two basically roommates at this point. They don't. It's pretty obvious coming across that they don't love each other. At least not in that aspect, like lovers. Maybe like just as a friend. I don't know. And she's probably just gonna like once they get done eating dinner, she'll just go back to her room or the living room and play Skyrim, and Phil will be sitting on the couch playing WW Champions, barely talking to each other. And that's just a sad, like that's well, like I said, if any of us was in that position, we would change something because that's not a good position to be in. So, like, if any of us was in there, we would make changes to be in a better position. But he can't, for some reason, make any kind of change. So he has to cope and make all these excuses and project that he's actually in a great position
to get here, but I'm here. And I think that everyone else out there can experience this too. And I want you to experience this. So I want you to know that don't dwell on the negative. Don't dwell on those awful things that are happening right now. They're going to happen. In life, they're unavoidable, but you will bounce back. Just stick in there, all right? Know that everyone out there, you know, if they don't understand what you're going through, that's on them. Because maybe they've never been through it. Maybe their lows are coming, and then the harsh reality is going to smack them in the face one day, and then they'll realize what you're going through, and maybe they'll feel a little bit bad about how they're treating you right now, right? But yeah. Just
sorry. I do believe in karma, but karma is not usually that fast. Like, I honestly, personally, I believe like in reincarnation, so I believe like karma takes effect like in our next life. So if you're a total piece of shit scamming mentally challenged people online, like DSP, he's going to have a bad go of it in his next life because he's accruing all this constant negative karma. And that's going to come back to bite him in the ass when he reincarnates, probably as a lower life form or something like that, right? That's just my personal belief. But so karma is not always so fast acting like it's going to happen in this life, because it's still sometimes it is, sometimes it's instant. So it could be really fast, but sometimes it could be drawn out and like accrued in the next life if it's not dished out in this life, right? So sometimes it's like really instant. You see that like a lot of times with like traffic whatever, like traffic cameras and stuff where like someone cuts you off and then gets like in a car accident up down the road farther. It's like stuff like that. And sometimes like DSP here, it takes a long ass time. Maybe it's coming this or in his lifetime. Maybe it'll be in the next lifetime, but it's eventually coming. But
just know, I know exactly what's going on.
But it's coming to you, Phil. You still have a lot of negative karma to answer for, my friend.
I do. I've been there, and I wish you all the best. Do not ask me for anything ever again, because you will get nothing. Nothing from me ever again, because you are ungrateful and you're not
get nothing.
The truth.
Good
and I have
day,
no
sir.
time for your fucking bullshit. I owe you nothing. If you have an issue, get a lawyer and sue someone. Even if you're not happy.
That's basically was him talking to his fans too, wasn't it?
Stuff right now.
I don't remember who exactly he was talking to in that one.
All right? And another thing that I would say too, and I know this is going to be really tough, try not to let what's going on right now tarnish the holiday season forever, because I know how easy it is to associate a negative with a certain date or a certain time of year. And this is a time of year when, in general, most people are feeling jolly and happy and jovial. And
translation, don't ruin our mood just because you feel bad because someone you love died or something like that. So don't take it out on us and ruin our holiday just because you're feeling like shit. Go cry in a corner somewhere and leave us alone and let us be fine.
Man, it would suck.
That sounds like what he's saying.
It becomes the opposite for you because something is going bad now. Know that things are not forever. Things are not absolute. Things can change and improve. and I wish you the best, and I hope that they do for you. I'm not going to waste my fucking time with you ever again because you are so full of your own shit, and I'm tired of it. I'm so sick and tired of wasting my fucking life and my days that I should be spending with my family and my wife, and I'm wasting them on you. Fuck you. Okay? All right. And that's what I had to start the show with today because, you know, some stuff going on. And I felt like I would throw that out there, and I hope that all of you are...
You know, stuff. You have stuff going on, right? Well, I'm pretending I do too. Stuff.
Having a happy and holiday season.
Stuff.
It's an anonymous $5 tip. And he said, hey, I'm actually about to be alone for the holidays. I keep working extra shifts for the holiday, and it keeps my mind off of all this stuff. You know, I don't really have anyone. I don't have a girlfriend or a significant social life or anything. Loneliness is a disease among humans, so please take care. You're right. There's nothing good to be coming out of you or your life. I hope you realize that. You're all just wastes of time. Waste of my fucking time and my precious life that I have left on this planet. I'm done with you.
You don't have a whole lot of time left, do you, Phil?
Ever again. You had your chance. And I actually spent time yesterday on a day when I should have been with my family, wasted it on you, and it wasn't good enough. Too fucking bad. So sad. Your sob story. Go cry to a lawyer. You're absolutely right.
What the hell was that from?
During this time of year, when a lot of us are so busy, if you say you're busy during Christmas and you're annoyed by it, you shouldn't be. You should be grateful. You know, there was a time in my life when I had a big family, and this time of year was all about going to visit the family and exchanging gifts and doing all this stuff. And oh my God, what a hassle.
Well, I mean, I was busy, but like busy working retail jobs. I mean, like that's not what he's talking about, obviously. It's like there are different people doing different types of busy stuff, Phil, because like it's the holiday season and a lot of people have to work still, like for assholes like you to come through our lines and cash out because they wait for the last goddamn second to buy everything. It's like, oh, it's Christmas Eve. I better go and get my Christmas shopping going. Store will be closing in 2 minutes. Get your shit and get out. Because, like, we're literally locking the doors. It's not our fault you waited forever.
You mean instead of me just staying home today and relaxing for Christmas, I got to go visit all my family members? I got to go to a party? Oh, and you complain about it.
I'd much rather go visit family members than stay at home. What kind of fucking homebody would rather just stay at home? Unless your family's assholes, then I totally understand. Because if you have, like, total dicks for family, I get that.
Right? You whine about it. And then years later...
My one fucking uncle, for example, is always a fucking idiot.
When that doesn't exist anymore, when you don't have that anymore, you realize, man, I really took all that for granted. And now I wish I still had it, you know? I haven't had a significant family experience like that since my teen years. And that sucks, you know?
That's your... teen years? Wait, well, it's like, so you like you moved to Washington State, what, like in your early 30s? So like, what the hell were you doing for Christmas in Connecticut from your teens to your early 30s then, Phil? Because I'm sure your family probably invited you over. Do you just choose not to fucking go? Is that what he's trying to get at? It was like, well, we just didn't go or something. Because, like, I mean... Again, he didn't move to Washington until like his early 30s, and he was like, just because like you move, you get like an apartment or something doesn't mean you can't go visit your parents for Christmas.
If you have it, be grateful for it and realize how lucky you are. There's a lot of people out there that don't have anyone, right? At all. You know, I'm lucky to have my wife and cat to spend time with.
I'm lucky to have my pet cat Jasper to keep me company for Christmas. Do you know how bizarre that sounds? Like, yeah, he has cat and then he has a cat, but like, no one usually includes pets in there. Like, oh, thank God I'm not alone. I have Fluffy here with me. Like, Fluffy doesn't even know what fucking day of the week it is or the year it is. He doesn't give a shit. You gave him bone, he's happy, he's eating the fucking bone. But it's like, oh, thank God, Fluffy, you're here with me. I guess. Like, I don't know.
But a lot of people don't have that.
But that
at
doesn't
all.
usually count
They
as
nothing.
family.
They're
I'm
just alone,
sorry.
and that's sad during this time of year. And again, when we were talking about the very beginning of this show, put your feet into someone else's shoes for just a few minutes.
Because I sure as fuck never have done that before.
Try to understand from their perspective what they could possibly be going through. You know? It's
Why don't you ever do that for other people then, huh, Phil?
completely different than what you may think. Oh, what a bunch of humbugs. How could they be a humbug this time of year? Well, that's probably why. It's probably because their life ain't going so well. And, you know, be a little
Like
bit aware
mine
of that and
is.
understand-
Have I told you my life is going super great? Thanks. Because it is. It's going amazing. I love my life. It's amazing. Have I mentioned before I love my life? It's going so great. Oh my gosh, you should have been there the other day. Kat was like doing this like funny like joke, and she was like it also was like doing this like balancing act type thing. She was showing off, and it was so funny until she fell on her ass and broke half of the dishes that she was carrying as well. But it was hilarious.
understanding of that. Now, they say it's not.
By
only
the way,
time
my
of year
life
to
is
be
great,
holly
though.
and
Just
jolly,
wanna
but it's a
put that
time
out
be
there.
Compassionate to
Oh,
others. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much to this anonymous $5 tipper. I'm there with you. I've been there too. I've been in a point in my life where I was all alone. I didn't feel like anything mattered. I hated my job, and
none of this is depression, Phil.
you just gotta push forward. I mean it. Just keep pushing forward, and understand that things will not always be that bad. You know what I mean? They won't.
And I keep bringing up that whole depression thing because technically the title is not about that. But in the previous video that I talked about depression about, he was claiming he had depression. Link in the bio. I'll put the link in the bio to the previous video, or was it a stream? I think it might have been a stream actually, where he was saying, "I have depression. That was my depression talking." Blah 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 blah. He went on this whole thing about having depression. That's why I keep bringing it up right now. Because I know technically right now he might be more talking about, no, he doesn't understand the difference, but yeah.
You will get through it. You'll get through to a better point in life, at least from my perspective and my experience. That's what's happened with me. And I'm so glad that I didn't give up because I was there, man. I was ready.
Life is so much better now that I'm not making nearly as much money. Only have a few select fans who I have to beg and scam constantly for them to give me even a penny of their money now. And I'm living totally isolated by myself with my cat.
And man, I'm so happy
And a
I did
fake
it, and I
roommate.
pushed through, and now here, look how happy I am now, and you can be there too. I wish the best upon everyone, that everyone could eventually have the happiness that I truly have. I don't give two fucks anymore. It's your fault. Because I actually did care at one point, and now I don't anymore. Okay? I'm having a pretty good laugh right now. All right? Admittedly. And here's why. Okay? For those who don't know, I have a group of people on this internet who hate my guts because they're morons. It's not because they have valid reasons to not like me. It's because they just listen to...
Oh, we have plenty of valid reasons to not like you, Phil. And what he doesn't get is that, like, most of us have our valid reasons for not liking him from shit he's put on his own channel. Even if you take away every single detractor content bullshit, like, let's say overnight every single detractor YouTube channel disappeared off the face of the earth. There is no longer any detractor content on YouTube whatsoever. And like, people would still end up hating this guy. Even people who didn't know Phil would be watching him or whatever, and they would start hating him based on how he acts on his own goddamn channels. He makes people hate him based on his own content, based on how he acts, how he abuses his fans, how he scams his fans. That's why people don't like you. No, I can't think of any detractor that just started watching detractor content and refused to look into it or actually watch Phil's actual content. I'd just be like, yep, this guy's a total piece of shit. I'm not going to actually go and double check into that or anything, or actually watch Phil's content just to make sure it's not a thing. No, I'm just going to totally 100% believe this guy's a total douchebag. No, I'm pretty sure every single one of you guys watching, like, was like, that can't be real. I gotta check this out myself. There's no way this guy's is this fucking stupid. And you go and you watch something, or like either a clip of his content or something like that, and you're like, holy shit, this motherfucker's actually real. He actually said shit like that.
To people who like to crap on me.
Because again, we're just resharing his content. If you think about it in social media terms, we are literally just retweeting or reblogging, because I think Tumblr did the reblog. Yeah, it was Tumblr with the reblog. We're just reblogging or retweeting or sharing his own content back to you guys. That's all we're doing. We're like, yeah, we might like edit it for brevity because it's so fucking long, but it's not like we're adding extra shit to it. We're literally just showing the world his own content to a wider audience. That's all we're doing. That's all people are doing. You know? It's not like we're just like making up lies and all this stuff. Sure, do we speculate and guess sometimes? Yeah, we do. We make conspiracy theories and conjecture here and there, but we're not presenting that as fact. We'll just be like, oh, maybe he's like this or that, but we're not presenting that as actual hard fact. You know, we are literally just showing what he puts out himself.
They get personal gain out of it, whether they make content or they do streaming, whatever it is. Being toxic on the internet is very profitable and popular today. It's also very harmful.
Oh my gosh. No, it's not. The vast majority of detractors have actual jobs, Phil. I don't think any of them, except for maybe Review Tech USA, are doing this for a career anymore. Like, I'm like, what?
And very messed up that you would do it, but these people just decide to do it because they're incredibly greedy and immoral and scumbags, okay? It's the easy way to be popular on the internet instead of actually having to do something of worth or quality.
Well, you still haven't done anything of worth or quality, so I guess that explains why you're not popular. And even when he was popular, he fucking rigged the algorithm in order to be popular. It's not like he actually created good quality content in order to be popular at the time. No, he just fucked up, like he just rigged the algorithm to be in his favor, and that's the only reason why he had so many views and attention when he did. Was because he was flooding the algorithm with his content. And he keeps trying to do so even to this fucking day. But it doesn't work that way anymore with the algorithm, thankfully. It doesn't work with YouTube the way it used to. So you don't fucking do that, Phil.
And work hard. Instead, you take the easy way out and you just crap.
Yeah, I worked really hard. No,
so
you didn't.
So these people,
you didn't, Phil,
are upset right now. And let me tell you
why
mad?
They're
upset. It's pretty.
I'm not mad, Phil. I am laughing at you. Why would you think I'm mad?
Funny, all right?
Oh, I think
so
it's funny.
As you guys know,
what is funny?
Gate 3 came
Actually,
out in August,
yeah, I
did
do
not
think
play
it's
it.
funny.
I told you guys I didn't think it was going to fit into my streaming format. At that point, with all the new releases that were going to be coming out over the fall, I didn't feel like a game like this made any sense to play at that point. But I told you guys that maybe eventually...
You also shit on it a bunch of times, too.
When it was ported to console, which it was in September, I would look into it. And all over the course of September, October, November, everyone's saying, are you going to play Baldur's Gate? Are you going to play Baldur's Gate? Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate. And
yeah, and you refused to listen to your own fans.
Every time you guys asked, I said, guys, can't do it yet.
You said, no, guys.
If we started it now, no one would be satisfied because we've got so many other games going on that we got to finish first. We know that Baldur's Gate is a 100+ hour experience. It doesn't make sense to jump into Baldur's Gate now. You guys won't be satisfied if I play it once or twice a week. You want to
Yeah, exactly. I never bring up drama. I never bring up trolls. What are you talking about, dude? Well, let's continue. I think I'm getting a headache, though. Jesus Christ.
If we started it now, no one would be satisfied because we've got so many other games going on that we got to finish first. We know that Baldur's Gate is a 100+ hour experience. It doesn't make sense to jump into Baldur's Gate now. You guys won't be satisfied if I play it once or twice a week. You want to see a good amount of progress every week. We got to stay in the lore of this universe.
You guys got to see.
Engaged,
I know
right?
what you guys want.
So
you guys don't know what you want.
Till it makes sense, and then we'll talk about, when we're going to do it. Okay, great. And that's exactly what we've done. Now, what ended up happening was,
is that
of
what
course,
we've done?
Hype
Hype
keeps building. The game gets nominated for Game of the Year and a
All
million
this
other awards.
hype.
The game wins Game of the Year and a million other awards at the Game Awards. So the hype.
You know, the Game Awards. That thing he says doesn't really matter, and it's all a bunch of phony journalists, and their opinions don't really matter because it's all about what the gamers think and want, and it doesn't fucking matter. But apparently the Game Awards makes a huge difference on his gaming schedule. The only reason he's playing Sea of Stars right now is because it won Best Indie Game. If it didn't win Best Indie Game, he wouldn't have played it. But it doesn't matter, though.
And it just so happens that during this time period, I finish a ton of other games. And we're to the point now where there are no other major new releases this year except for Avatar. And so we're sitting here trying to determine what we're going to do.
Which, again, I actually recently started playing Avatar. I'm having fun with it. The game is really good, in my opinion. And I'm not even that big a fan of the movies. Like, I watched the first movie, and I'm like, okay, it's alright. It's basically just a ripoff of Pocahontas, but whatever, fuck it. But on a lark, I decided to buy the Avatar game, because it was actually on sale, quite like by 30 or 40 bucks on sale, which isn't a good sign when it's like a newer-ish release, and it's on sale that much. But I'm like, fuck it, I'll try playing it. I'm actually having a great time with it. I think the plot is better than the movies. Yes, it technically is just Far Cry Primal with the Avatar Pandora paint slapped on it. True. But it's still a fun game. I'm having fun with it, and he probably would have had fun with it too, but he decided to skip that one.
I play Avatar, should I not? What should I do? And we come.
Oh yeah, but anyway, like I was saying, no, it's actually a pretty decent game. So, he probably would have actually liked the Avatar game. But he would have fucked it up and he would have made it look as boring as possible, like most of his games that he plays. Every fucking game he plays, he makes look terrible no matter what anyway. So
come to the conclusion, people want to see Baldur's Gate 3 no matter what. So people start nominating this game in droves for the Christmas Marathon. And I'm like, oh, how is Baldur's Gate 3 going to work for a Christmas Marathon when potentially I'm only going to be playing it for like an hour? We probably won't even get out of the character creator. Right? So, man, this is not going to work. So, finally, all things considered.
If he was only going to... Sorry, hold on. If he was only going to play it for the Christmas Marathon and not make a full playthrough of it, why would you give two shits about what the character actually looks like? Just hit randomize for the character and jump right in so you would have at least gotten a feel for what the game was actually like. But, I mean, he ended up making a full playthrough anyway, so...
We're all talking about this. We say, let's just play it. Now makes sense because we could play for about a month before big new releases start coming out in January. And we can get a good big chunk into the game. You know, if I'm playing it roughly 9 hours a week, we could get potentially 40-plus hours into this game before it kind of has to go on a little bit of a back burner for me to play other hot new releases, okay? So, that's how we've been approaching it. And so far, we're 12 hours in. Really enjoying the game, playing it 3 more today, 9 more hours next week, even with my holiday marathon on Saturday and the Christmas Eve special on Sunday and no streaming on Monday. I'm still playing Baldur's Gate.
And he really is sandbagging this playthrough,
because I'm really enjoying this experience we're having together.
He's taking fucking forever playing this goddamn game.
What is the point, says King Be Cruel? Well, if you had some patience, King Be Cruel, maybe you would learn. Maybe if you could be quiet for a second so I could finish my story. Instead of whining in the chat, if you could be quiet for a moment and listen to me speak on my podcast, you would understand where I'm going with this, okay? So, I'm being silly. I'm just joking. Don't take it seriously. Okay. So, why I'm bringing all this up is because recently I started to notice a lot of people are getting bothered by the fact that I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 and I'm enjoying it with my audience and we're having a good time and the playthrough is not a train wreck disaster. Yes, people are genuinely upset that I'm having a good time with this game and it's doing well. They don't like that. I'm getting comments on videos.
Are you guys bothered?
Emails about
Am I bothered?
Oh,
who the hell is bothered?
How dare you play Baldur's Gate 3 and have a good time with your audience? So now, of course, it becomes, oh, your audience just handhold you every single possible
They fucking
moment,
do.
Right?
I mean,
well, if you
it really, it's not any different from any other game you play, though. your audience is literally playing the game for you at that point, because you literally don't know anything about the game. So it's quite obvious they are hand-holding you through the entire game. So it's not entertaining to watch, obviously. But we don't give a shit about that because we're never going to watch it anyway. So I don't really get this, but like I don't know any detractor who's upset. I mean, I don't understand, because like none of us would argue that the gameplay or game playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 is going good. It's still a disaster. It's still boring as fuck. He's not getting extra numbers. So why would any of us be upset about that in the first place? Like, it's just another playthrough that his audience, his chat is hand-holding it through, but that's the same as any other fucking game, so it's not any different from any other game that he plays, so why should we get upset about that? I don't get it.
You'd see, I've never played D&D before, of any kind.
Obviously.
I've never played this style of game. It makes sense to have that level of engagement.
You played Divinity Original Sin 2, which plays pretty similar.
With the audience, that's what's
before you
making
canceled it
good. You guys get to see my genuine first-time reactions to this game that I don't really...
That's not... I'm sorry, I'm trying to eat some ice cream and I keep having to stop. That's not true either, though, Phil. It would be true if you, like, didn't read your chat at all and just played the game actually without responding or asking questions or having your chat tell you what to do. If you had like a no backseat driving and actually played and failed and flailed at the game, then that would be one thing, but you're not doing that. So you can't try to spin it in terms of, oh, this is my genuine reactions to this and that, when it's not, because you're just reading what your chat is telling you to do. So that's not true at all.
Really understand, and I get to be immersed in lore and gameplay elements and a new atmosphere that I've never seen before. It works both directions, right?
Nope.
Again, if I were just sitting here playing the game for myself, I would not be enjoying it.
Fuck. Sorry about that. Let me go back really quick.
Just sitting here playing the game for myself, I would not be enjoying it. I want you to understand that. It is this interaction.
It doesn't fucking matter if you're enjoying it or not. What should matter is not your enjoyment, but the entertainment of your audience, Phil. Okay? It doesn't matter how enjoyed you are in playing a fucking game or not. What matters is making something that's entertaining for your audience. And you playing this game without a chat hand-holding you through it would be far more entertaining, and you would get a lot more viewers than you currently are doing with your chat hand-holding you. It doesn't matter if you're enjoying the game or not. They're ruining the experience, and they're making the game playthrough boring and unfun to watch. So you're not going to get that many views on it because your chat is hand-holding you. It's like, it'd be one thing if you actually went into a cold turkey, as he loves to say, and fucking, even though it's not the right word for it, but he loves to use it in that context. If he actually went in cold turkey and shut his chat off so he wouldn't see anything and just tried flailing at the game and figuring out for himself, that would be a hell of a lot more entertaining, and he would have a lot more views than he currently does.
We're having, that is the reason why this playthrough is so good right now. And as long as we keep that going, this playthrough will be a lengthy, enjoyable, awesome game. But if people get bored, or if I get bored and we get disengaged with the game or each other, yeah, that's when it's going to kind of fall apart. And that's happened with other game playthroughs before. But let me tell you.
But he never
seriously,
rage quits game
right
though.
Now, these people are really upset. There are, like I said, they just can't take the fact that something that I'm doing is going well. At any moment in my life,
how is it going well?
They hate it. When I come to my stream and I say, wow, I had a great morning, oh my God, they get really upset.
But he never talks about the trolls, guys. He never brings up drama, guys. And that's not true anyway. I mean, first of all, I would argue your Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough is not going well. But I'm not surprised that you're getting money and hitting tip skulls every time you played it, because I foresaw that, because because when you were playing Divinity Original Sin 2, you hit almost every single fucking tip skull when you played it. The money and support was there, and you still quit it because you couldn't figure it out, and it was showing how stupid you were. Now, you're also getting more support than you would usually get, because people want to actually see you play the game. And this time you're having chat hold your hand throughout the entire game. So he's probably going to keep playing it up until like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and some of these other games comes out. And then he's probably going to put that Baldur's Gate 3 on hold indefinitely, because all these other games are coming out, dude.
As petty as
no
that
one's
is,
upset.
as weird as that is, that's how
I
some
don't care.
people are on this planet. There's people who literally only live to see others suffer. And when that suffering stops, or if it's going the other way, they can't stand it. And that's what's happening right now.
That's not true at all. Like, I don't know if this is cope or projection or what. I can't speak for every other detractor out there I know. But this is just wild assumption, because he doesn't know any... He really does not know any actual detractors, like, on a person, like, close enough to actually claim this, if that makes sense. Like, you don't know anything about us, Phil. That's not the case.
True. Like, some of these people are so dumb, they don't realize that, like, when they come on the playthrough and they try to, like, leave insanely negative comments about that, no one's going to see them. Right? They're that dumb. They'll come and write, like, a giant paragraph on part 1 of Baldur's.
You see it, though, Phil.
This playthrough will suck because Phil will just have his hand held the entire playthrough. He's not playing the game for himself, and he's only playing it because he's making money. And it's absolutely hilarious. It couldn't be any
X to doubt that anyone actually ever left a message like or a comment like that. Because, like, he could just easily make up that someone left a comment like that. How do we know that's a real comment that someone actually left? We don't. Because it's not true, first of all. He's just making shit up. And second of all, you still see the comment, Phil. So even if someone left a derogatory comment, you still have to see it in order to not allow it or to review it or whatever. So it's still going to get under your skin and bother you. And that's the whole reason why people do that sometimes.
Any less true, if you just watch the playthrough, you would totally see what they're saying is false, but they want to try to shit on your Wheaties. You get it? Like, that's what it is. They want to ruin a good experience that others are having. There's so many people that are sad, little, miserable balls of hate on the internet that they can't get away from themselves being like that and trying
That's
to
a
just
weird
dump on everything.
turn of phrase, isn't
And
it? Balls of hate.
I think a lot of people were actually anticipating that this playthrough was going to...
All these people are just balls of hate, says the king of hate himself. The king of hate is saying other people are just miserable little balls of hatred. Okay, king of hate, I gotcha.
To suck. They thought that I was not going to like it. I was going to suck at it. You guys were going to hate me playing it because you would think that I wasn't going to get it and that it was going to be like me.
I mean, you admitted you didn't like it.
Everyone just being frustrated. Like, oh, but it hasn't been like that, right? Yes, I am trying to learn. And yes, it's tough. Admittedly, again, say it again, we're 12 hours in. I still feel like every time I play this game, I'm getting an education. Every time you're teaching me new things about the game I don't understand. It's very complex.
Because you're an idiot.
There's lots of levels here to understand of gameplay elements, of lore, and all this stuff. So it is tough. It's like I'm absorbing...
Because the only thing you really like about the gameplay through is that you're still getting support. That's the only reason why you're still going with it.
so much information every single time that we play Baldur's Gate 3. But because it's a successful, fun, engaged experience with the audience, that's why it's working, and that's why it's been such a great experience, right? And people can't stand that. They think, they literally want to believe that me, Phil Burnell, DSP of 2023,
I don't
is the
give
same as
two
DSP
shits.
of 2011. The guy who literally couldn't play Dark Souls,
Wait, what?
raged, walk off cliffs, got the blight
You
count
still
rates
are
to
that
tank. They
motherfucker,
wanna
Phil.
believe
Shut
that
up.
because that
You haven't
pushes their
changed it
toxic narrative
all.
and continues
At
with their
all.
negative memes and shit on the internet, but it's completely false.
Oh my god.
There's nothing to justify what
Sure,
they're saying.
cope session
But
right
they
here.
say it anyway, and they're upset when something actually comes out as
They're
concrete
upset when
evidence that what
something
they're saying is
actually
wrong.
comes out, bro.
So
It's
every
like,
moment
bullshit.
that this
Whoa.
playthrough exists, succeeds, is positive,
I
and
must
we're having a
succeed.
great time together with it, they're upset.
I'm
Now,
not upset
I
at
can't
all.
Fix that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't fix these broken people.
Well, you
I wish
shouldn't
I could.
have
I
to,
wish there was
first of
some
all.
magic
Oh,
word I could
bullshit.
say to make them.
Oh my gosh. Which one is it, Phil? Would you want to fix all of us, or is the world better off if none of us ever existed? Which one is it, Phil, huh? Because you've said before many times that the world would be so much better off if all these negative people who don't contribute to society and all this other bullshit based on assumptions that you randomly make about us. Okay, so which one is it then? Oh, well, I wish I could fix you. Oh, what is this bullshit pandering that he's doing right here? Trying to pretend that he's like some empathetic, like, what's the right word? Oh, some like empathetic guy who wishes that he could help everyone else that doesn't understand, and oh, they're just horrible people and I wish I could fix them. And all, like, no, you don't. You fucking don't. So stop lying to us. Like, when you go and you say that, like, the world would be a better place without us, detractors, and that we're all mentally ill and stuff, that's the real you talking right there. This is some bullshit pandering, trying to pretend you're better than everyone else.
Them all feel
When you're
better
clearly
about life
not.
so that they would not feel miserable now because the Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough is a good success right now. Like, I wish there was something I
No
could
one
do
is
to make
thinking
these people
this.
feel
This
better about their-
whole 10-15 minute rant that's been going on is in reaction to something that doesn't exist. He is literally creating like what if scenarios in his head that hasn't happened, doesn't exist, and is going based off of that. When none of us detractors give two shits that his fucking Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough is going quote unquote good in his opinion. I don't care. Other people don't care, Phil. We don't.
their own lives, so they would stop caring so much about mine. But sadly, I don't know how to do that. I can't really reach out to every single one of these thousands of miserable wretches and try to make their lives each better individually. I'm not a real life Santa Claus. I can't do that. Maybe if this was some kind of a Hallmark Christmas movie,
You'd be more
I'd have
like
some dust
Krampus
that goes
than
on my
Santa, I
screen, and all of a
think.
sudden their lives are, oh, their hearts grew 3 sizes, and now they all feel better about the holiday season, and they stop caring
I'm
about
telling you, this guy's view on life is based off of fucking movies. Children's movies at that. Like he thinks Christmases should all be about A Christmas Story. Just fucking watch that. He bases his whole fucking holiday, like his view on holidays and shit based on a fucking Christmas Story movie. So it's like his whole view on life in general is based off of fucking movies. That, like, he's living in a fucking fantasy world. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Playthrough, but I guess there's no way I can really do that. You know what I mean?
No shit, because it's not a real thing.
So, I just want you to understand.
But he doesn't bring up trolls. He doesn't bring up drama.
That how appreciative I am, because for every person out there who's positive and having fun with me every day and enjoying my content and my stream.
What, a whole 10 people that you have in your chat? Because, like, I hate to tell you, Phil, but the majority of the views you get every stream you do is probably trolls watching you. Or people restreaming you for trolls. Your fans are basically only the ones that are in the chat room talking.
Understand that there's these weird,
so a whole 7 to 10 people, maybe?
They're always rooting against everything, right? They want everything to go wrong. They want everything to fail. They want everything to just think about that. It's the holiday season. Christmas is in less than a week, and they're sitting on my streams and on my videos, typing out paragraphs of nasty comments no one will ever see.
People, because one motherfucker typed out a paragraph, that must mean that the entire detractor community which is a huge fucking community at this point. Hundreds and hundreds of people strong, the detractor army, if you will, are all doing this. All feeling the same way. We're all a fucking hive mind. We're all really one entity. I am the well, some giant amalgamation. I am the stray fox, tendril of a greater amalgamation. And I'm getting all my information from the hive mind, as all the other detractors do too. And we all have one brain that we share. And we're just pretending to be all these different detractors when it's really some, like, Lovecraftian giant horror thing. We are Legion, we are one, and we all hate DSP, apparently. And because one person fucking wrote some paragraph, we all must feel this fucking way. It doesn't matter that, like, oh, it only takes me half an hour to an hour to make one video during the holiday season, and then I'm off to actually celebrate with my actual family later on that day or something like that. No, I'm spending 24/7 my entire holiday season hating on DSP and writing these fake paragraphs of hate and like wishing him doom and disaster and all this other bullshit. No. It's not that.
To say, I don't like you and I hope everything fails for you. What kind of a person would do that? I mean, don't you feel bad?
Well, no one like that exists. So, I mean, this fantasy person in your head that you're making up about it, I don't know. You'd have to ask them because they're living in your head rent free.
You would think, oh, isn't that, don't you get upset? No, I don't get upset anymore.
Is this another one of your personalities, Phil? Are you inventing another fucking personality? A detractor personality that's in your head? And it's like representative of us as a whole, and you just think that whatever they say in your head is representative of all of us?
I used to. Back in the day, I would see that
behavior. Shut up, Tim. Like, stop talking shit about me.
I'm not upset anymore. I feel sad that there's so many people on this planet that have nothing going for them, that this is their existence.
But you don't know... Oh, my gosh. You don't know that, Phil. You don't know what the fuck I have going on in my own life. See... Folks, the problem with Phil is this is projection. I'm trying to clear my throat. It's a little phlegmy. I'm sorry. This is all projection from DSP, because DSP is the one who actually has nothing going on in his actual life. His entire life revolves around being online. So what you see from him online on a day-to-day basis is basically all he has going on. Okay? Yes, he lives in a condo in a gated community, and he has a quote-unquote wife who's really just an overglorified beard and roommate to draw suspicion that he might be gay away from people who doesn't really love him, and she's really good at breaking things apparently and playing fucking Skyrim, but they hardly ever seem to talk to each other. On his day off, he just goes out by himself and does all these errands, and they DoorDash and eat a dinner together, and that's about it. He is not permanently, he is oh fuck, what's the right word for that? It's compulsively online. His entire life revolves around the internet and him being online. And because of this, he is projecting that onto us. So he is projecting that onto every single detractor, that they also must be permanently online. Permanently is not the right word for it. It's something else. It's like chronically, that's the right word. That we all are chronically being online. Okay? You, me, and Lee, Detractor Beam, I'm blinking right now, I'm sorry. ALT, we're all permanently chronically online. We have no real lives because he doesn't have a real life. And if he doesn't have a real life away from the internet, we must not either, right? So I don't have a job. I don't have a boyfriend who I love very much. I don't actually have other hobbies and activities going on away from the computer, even though I barely make one video a week or one stream a week, if that. But no, somehow I'm chronically online all the time, every time. Now, yeah, I do spend quite a bit of time online on my days off, but I'm also not detracting all that time either. I'm on other chat rooms. I'm playing games online with friends. Shit like that. Okay? But no. Apparently we all don't have a life, and he's making these wild-ass assumptions about us as a projection and cope method. Because he can't actually deal with the fact in his head that we are all different people with different lives and different things going on in our lives. So he has to project outward that we're all basically the kind of the same person and have no lives and are spending all the time, and we're, the whole thing about, we're living in our mom's basement and we don't have a job and we're just doing this for kicks and blah, 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 blah. Even though I don't think, most of us all have, some kind of spouse or family, actual family of our own, and don't, are older than, a teenager, early 20-year-olds or whatever he thinks we actually are. Because he loves to, he loves to think that we're all, some stupid kid that's literally just living in our parents' basement, when most of us are actual adults, just laughing at him.
I
don't know. It's insane
that they get wrapped up into this toxicity and negativity, especially this time of year. People are still telling me, and again, I don't know because I don't pay attention.
People are still telling you. Every time he says, people are telling me, oh, I'm seeing this. People are telling me doesn't exist. He's just making it up. That's basically what you can assume.
Day, people,
when he says
did you know that someone's talking about you right now on their stream negatively? Did you know that someone's doing this stream?
Did you know? Yeah, no.
You and your family members and this and that. Did you hear on this podcast they did it? No.
The family members? Most of us are talking about you, motherfucker. We don't give a shit about your fucking cat, which doesn't count as an actual family member, sorry. Or cat. Or, you know what I mean?
Don't care.
No, we're talking about you.
Season. I'm here to make fun gameplay with you guys and be positive. Can you imagine?
Well, you're failing at that too, then.
Negative person Christmas week.
Oh,
I
so
can't,
toxic,
but
guys.
That's these people. This is their whole life in existence.
You do know that not everyone celebrates Christmas too, right, Phil? Not everyone celebrates Christmas. Not everyone is Christian. You do realize that, right? For a lot of people, they don't have a religion, or they have a different religion. They could be celebrating Hanukkah or some other religion going on. You know what I mean?
It's lolcowing is milking people. You're not
milking
me.
He is so obsessed with that.
Miserable people on the internet. You're creating more misery, a cycle of misery.
I'm not milking fucking anyone. I'll tell you that right now.
Content should be fucking ashamed, demonetized, and in my opinion, banned from YouTube. They shouldn't exist.
Well, it's a good thing that no one pays any fucking attention to your opinion, sir. Because if we're going based on your opinion and your rules, you would be banned yourself if everyone, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? If Phil Burnell gave YouTube a list of rules and be like, anyone who's doing any of these things on this list of rules should be banned, he himself would be banned from YouTube based on his own rules that he puts out. Because he is way more negative, toxic than any detractor is. I'm sorry, he just is. And he's his own worst detractor. So if we would be banned, you would be banned just as bad. So if YouTube overnight became super conservative, super strict, and was deleting and banning people, he would be one of the first people fucking gone.
The worst kind of content, especially for this kind of year. And these people are
What does this kind of year have to do with anything, Phil? Around the clock, you're a toxic, negative asshole that's scamming people for money on a day-to-day fucking basis. Oh, like, and it's just ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that, like, hardly, like, there's not, like, not everyone fucking celebrates Christmas, first of all. And second of all, like, if he actually watched Detractor, like, communities and other Detractor streams, they are actually pretty positive fucking streams. Yeah, they're making fun of you, but no one's wishing that you would fucking die or anything. They're making fun of you, but they're promoting a safe and friendly environment and community for their own viewers and their own fans. It's not that negative that you try to make it out to be. It really isn't. You go to a fucking Detractor Beam taking L's, LTG, ALT streams, like, they're all pretty positive, fun communities. No one's, like, that negative in there. I'm sorry, it just isn't. Like, it's just a fun, positive community all around.
Focused on it. That's what I mean. Why the hell would anyone be like that this time of year? That's insanity. You know? That's absolutely.
I guess that's what makes a lolcow in the end of the day, though, right? You don't understand.
But that's the reality of life right now on Earth, is that you have how many hundreds, if not millions, hundreds of thousands to millions of people on this planet that are just plain miserable. And no one cares about them. And they just leave them. What happens is people abuse them. People are making this kind of predatory content.
And DSP, like you just saw with that one comment from from another one of his dents or whatever, it's like, DSP is all about fucking censorship. He thinks that if anyone has any sort of small fucking criticism against him, they should be banned. But guess what, dumbass? You're not a fucking dictator. I know you would love to be a dictator or super in charge of fucking YouTube in general, but you're not. And it's a good thing you're not, because, like, if you were in charge of YouTube, first of all, YouTube would go down the shitter, like, almost immediately. But also it'd be like you would ban, like, 95% of everyone that's on YouTube, like, immediately. Because God forbid someone says something even slightly criticizing of you, you would just ban them outright and pretend they don't exist. And then we'll be wondering and confused on why there's no one active on your site anymore. Why is no one using YouTube anymore? I don't understand, guys. It's because you banned them all, dumbass. Same thing goes with his actual chat. It's like his chat, his community is a microcosm of what would happen if he got any sort of real power. It would. And then he wonders why no one's talking in his chat. It's because he has like 2 or 4 people actually left as fans because he banned everyone else. He turned everyone else against him himself. No detractor is doing that. No detractor is out here making up lies, I'm not coming on here and making up random fucking lies. I'm not editing his clips in a way where it's like him saying something he never said and like using deep fakes and AIs to like fucking make him say shit that he never actually said. No one's doing that, Phil. We're literally just taking clips off your own fucking channel and replaying them. That's all we're doing. So at the end of the day, your own words are turning people against you. Your own words, not us.
To hone in and sucker those people into
this is going way too long. I do apologize.
That should never happen. You should never feel good about misery.
I'm pausing too much.
Ever in your life. You know? That's why it's called misery, because it's supposed to make people miserable, not happy. If you think that someone being miserable makes you happy, you need to go seek some kind of mental readjustment.
Well, you shouldn't use the own word in that word's definition. Like, misery is creating misery in other people. Like how stunted is that? The definition of miserable is making people miserable. No, you can't use the same word in the definition of that word.
With a professional or a counselor, you really should.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Be sitting on the internet dwelling in misery at Christmas week. That's
white
really
coding.
Messed up.
You know, that's what I'm going to call it from now on. Because I have a lack of, like, I think there's an actual word for it. But I'm going to call it white coding. Whenever he said, like, whenever he tries to propagate that, like, he tries to disregard any criticism he gets by claiming everyone that disagrees with him must be clinically insane. So I'm just going to call that white coding from now on. because he loves to say, "Oh, the white coats are coming in, and you should be having therapy and shit like that, and blah blah blah." So I'm just gonna call it white coating from now on,
I just can't wait.
as
for
some
the
sort of
Baldur's Gate 3
deflection
playthrough to go
against any
sour.
sort of
What the
criticism.
hell is wrong with you?
Oh,
You're
real
nuts.
crazy. Yes,
You need help. Really, you should actively stop
White
whatever you're doing and
coating.
go to see someone who can maybe help you and readjust your brain. Kill yourself.
Just
to have a better
readjust your
life, a
brain. Yeah,
productive, positive-
you should bring back asylums, and they should be bringing back shock treatment to just fucking shock your brain, and hopefully that'll fix it, man. Because you guys are all insane. Any normal sane person would see that I am a success and a great guy and never did anything wrong. Do you see how insane this sounds? Like if by any definition of the structure definition, like, he is sounding way more insane than any actual detractor. Because God forbid they dared to criticize him.
positive life. You shouldn't be dwelling on that stuff. You know? And it really makes me sad to know how many people there are like this. Okay? So, truth is, I'm having a great time. I cannot wait for more Baldur's Gate 3
more
today. I know
projection.
we're going to have a great stream. I hope you guys, again, will stick around.
Just want to have a good stream.
And
Just have a good time.
I certainly feel that you guys will continue to enjoy the playthrough as much as I have, I hope. And, again, as long as we keep up the level of engagement and consistent interaction and you helping me with the stuff I don't understand and giving me advice on things I should do.
Which is
Again,
everything,
that
because he doesn't
mean
understand a
handholding
single
every
thing in
moment.
that
That doesn't
game.
mean, oh, this is a fight. Here's exactly how to win it in 2 turns. No. I want to figure it out for myself. But if I ask questions, hey, is this spell working how I think it
Which
works?
is every 2
What's a
seconds
good
you're
spell
asking a
to pick
question
when I
about this
level
or
up?
that.
Am I missing out on anything important or essential in this area? Because I swear I searched the area, but maybe I missed a little. You know what I mean? Those are just genuine questions and things to make the gameplay experience more enjoyable rather than me just guessing for myself and flubbing it and doing things wrong and missing out on stuff. I want to have a good time. I'm not going to be going back and playing Baldur's Gate 3 10 times. I'm going to play it once. So I want this one time to be a great, enjoyable experience, okay?
Well, that's the good thing about Baldur's Gate 3 that a lot of people like, is that there are so many different outcomes. There's so many, there's different endings, there's different outcomes, there's different choices. So there's endless replayability. You could keep playing the game over and over again and find stuff you never seen the first couple playthroughs. That's what people like about it. He's not a real gamer.
Thank you.
He doesn't
to those
understand
who
that.
are here, who are positive, who are having a good time. And thank you to those who are consistently supporting Baldur's Gate 3. That's very nice of you. It's a lengthy RPG.
It's very nice, you guys.
A lot of the times when I play RPG,
just make sure to
they don't
keep it
get a
up,
lot of
losers.
support. Namely, take a look at Like a Dragon that we're playing right now. There's some nights where there's none, and that's okay because
it's a boring game. You're making it seem so fucking boring.
This game and people who want me to experience a real D&D experience.
It's
that
D&D.
you support it. I really appreciate that. Get fucked. All right, so thank you so very much for that. Really looking forward to today's stream. Okay.
Yeah. Alright guys, I think it's finally over, and that will conclude this video. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone who subscribed. Be sure to hit that like icon and follow if you're not already following or subscribing, whatever they want to call it. And I'll be back probably with a stream coming up soon in the next couple days. And I hope to see you there. And have a great start of 2024. Let's hope the hits keep coming. Let's hope DSP keeps making an ass out of himself, which I'm sure we can always count on that. And we'll see you next time, all right? Peace.